Alrighty. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. It's wonderful to see a familiar face, hero, and your presence and participation is really, truly appreciated. Now, let's do a recap of our previous session, which was we delved into the concept of holistic health, exploring its multifaceted nature and understanding how it encompasses our mental, physical, spiritual, environmental, social, and emotional well being. Now, for today, we're going to focus on a key component of holistic health, which is mindfulness. We will explore its origins, its benefits, and how it intertwines with each aspect of our well being. But before we get into that, let's start with a simple mindful breathing exercise. Just find a comfortable seated position, close your eyes, and take a deep breath through your nose. Hold on for a moment and exhale slowly through your mouth. We're going to do this two more times, and I want you to focus solely on your breath, feeling the rise and fall of your chest. Let's do this the second time. Take a deep breath in through your nose, hold it, and exhale slowly through your mouth. One more time. Take a deep breath, hold it, hold it. Now exhale. Now, how did that make you feel? Feel free to share your experience in the chat. In case you noticed any sensation during that brief exercise, I want to know about it in the chat. But let's dive into our topic for today, which is mindfulness. Now, what is mindfulness? From our screen, we can see mindfulness is the practice of cultivating a deep awareness of our thoughts, emotions, sensations, and the environment around us in the present moment. It's about being fully engaged in the here and now without being swayed by external distractions or internal judgments. Now, the concept of mindfulness has its roots in ancient Eastern philosophies, particularly within Buddhism. It was in the Buddhist traditions that mindfulness, or sati in Pali, was emphasized as a foundational practice to cultivate awareness and understanding. Over the centuries, this practice was honed and integrated into meditation techniques, emphasizing the importance of being present and observing one's mind and body without attachment or aversion. In the 20th century, the West began to take notice of these ancient practices. Dr. John Kabat-Zinn, a molecular biologist, was instrumental in this. He developed the mindfulness-based stress reduction program at the University of Massachusetts Medical School in the 1970s. Now, this program was unique because it combined traditional Buddhist mindfulness practices with contemporary Western scientific principles, making it more accessible and relatable to a broader audience. Today, thanks to such efforts, mindfulness has become a global phenomenon, recognized for its profound benefits on mental well being, stress reduction, and overall quality of life. Now, let's move on to the benefits of mindfulness because it offers numerous benefits, including reduced stress, improved focus, better emotional regulation, and enhanced awareness. But I want to highlight the connection between mindfulness and holistic health because mindfulness plays a really important role. Mentally, it enhances clarity and focus. Spiritually, it deepens the connection with oneself. Emotionally, it aids in emotional regulation and self awareness. Physically, it promotes relaxation and stress reduction. Environmentally, it encourages a greater appreciation for our surroundings. And socially, it improves communication and understanding in relationships. Now, we're gonna allow a few minutes of silence because I want you all to immerse yourself in a guided meditation. So, if you pardon me for a bit, I'm gonna go off sharing my screen for now so that we can have some time to, you know, relax as well as, find some peace. I want you all to listen to this.
Welcome to this body scan meditation. In this guided meditation, you will bring awareness to each part of the body, sequentially, without judging it or trying to change it. As you begin, find yourself in a quiet place, free from interruption. Sit down in a chair. Adjust yourself so that your body is comfortable, so that you are supported yet relaxed. It might be helpful here to imagine that your spine is energized and the muscles are soft. And now gently close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you breathe in, feel the oxygen refreshing the body. And with your next breath out, feel the body soften and relax. Keep in mind that at any point in the meditation, your mind may begin to wander, and that is perfectly normal. If you catch yourself thinking instead of feeling, try to bring your attention back to the breath, the body, and the physical sensations. As your attention moves, notice different areas of comfort or discomfort, giving equal attention to both, not resisting or encouraging anything, but rather just noticing and observing. Start by bringing awareness to the feet. How do your feet feel right now? And now move to the ankles and lower legs. With each part of the body, briefly check in. And if it helps, imagine breathing into the area, using the breath to guide your attention. Now shifting attention to the knees and thighs, and again checking in and noticing things such as posture, pressure, and maybe even temperature. And now scanning up to the hips, pelvis, and lower abdomen, feeling the stomach rising and falling with each breath. And now the entire torso, moving up to the chest. Again here, feeling the movement of the breath as you breathe in and breathe out. And now to the shoulders, breathing into this area, if you can, to help guide your focus. And from here, bring attention to your hands, moving to the wrists and the forearms, then the elbows and upper arms, noticing any sensations that present themselves. And from here, guide the attention to the neck and throat. And now, up to the head, feeling the jaw and the mouth, the cheeks and the nose, the eyes and the forehead. Now moving to the sides of the head, noticing your ears, and now to the top of the head. And from here, expand your awareness and open up to the entire body, collecting the sensations in different areas and compiling them into a whole, creating a full picture. Is the body still or restless? Warm or cool? Heavy or light? Whatever you may be feeling, you don't need to do any analysis of that feeling or judge the feeling. Just become aware of it. Continue staying aware of how your body is feeling. If at any point you catch your mind wandering, bring your attention back to the breath, the body, the physical sensations. And when you're ready, tune right back in. Become aware of the sensation of your body rising and falling as you breathe, expanding and retracting, filling and emptying. Pay attention to the constant movement. Where does your body move the most? Is it your stomach, or your shoulders, or somewhere else? You're not trying to change or control the movement in the body, but simply noticing the ebb and flow. Now focus on the quality of your breathing. Are the breaths long or short? Loud or quiet? Deep or shallow? Smooth or interrupted? Again, you are not trying to change how you breathe, but rather taking the opportunity to listen to your body's natural cadence and remembering that each breath refreshes the body by bringing oxygen to your cells. Now gently bring attention back to the body. Feel the effect of gravity. Notice the pressure between the body and the surfaces beneath you. Feeling the soles of your feet on the floor, your bottom on the chair, and the hands and the arms just resting where they are. And then when you're ready, gently open the eyes, bringing yourself back into the space around you. Begin to move your fingers and toes, moving and stretching in any way that feels right to you. Before you move on with your day, take a moment to reflect on how it feels to take time for yourself.
Welcome to this.
All right. Welcome back to our session. I'm hoping you enjoyed that meditation. Um, right now, we will be moving on. Let me tap my screen again to share my screen. 1 second. There we go. Right. So, there we go. So right now, I actually want to invite, even if it's just for a few minutes, I want to hear from you. If you've practiced mindfulness before, if you could share your experience or any challenge you faced and how it impacted your health journey so far, I'd really like to hear from you.
Oh, you need me to wake back up, Joe? Um, like, um, um, yeah, I mean, there's heard chat before, not my first day at the mindfulness rodeo. So, I love this stuff. And as someone who's been, working too hard for the last few years, I know the importance of taking an hour every 2 weeks to focus on yourself in an intentional and practiced way. So, thanks, Joe, for being here.
Thank you, Hero. I really appreciate that. That was amazing feedback that I'm gonna hold dear to myself. Thank you. But we have a few more minutes left, and I really want it to count. So we're gonna look at, you know, incorporating mindfulness into our daily life. Um, it can literally be as simple as starting with short meditation sessions like what we just had, guided meditation. It could be as simple as practicing mindful eating, or you can even take like a mindful break during your workday, like Hero is doing right now. And for a lot other more people who are in the Web3 space, you may want to consider disconnecting from the digital world totally. Meaning you need to ground yourself in the present. That's definitely not going to be easy, but it's something you should really consider. There are also several tools and apps to assist you, and I'll be providing resources at the end. The thing is, we're supposed to have like a mindful eating exercise, but since we have a few minutes left, we can have it in the next session where we actually, grab a small snack or even just a sip of water and we practice mindful eating by focusing on the texture, taste, and sensation as we eat or drink. We will definitely look at that in our next session. But for now, I wanted to find out if there are any questions. I want to open the floor for any questions or clarifications. Although from the player
Yeah,
right now, pro,
it's
you feel
okay.
like the pro, right?
Hey, I got lots of questions, so it's cool. So I think one of the things that is interesting to talk about mindfulness is that there's this deep confusion between mindfulness and like still minds. Um,
Mm,
and so, I mean, mindfulness practice is not the idea that you should sit there in some, deep, empty mind Zen state and then just, like you have reached nirvana and are transcending the material plane, right? Like I mean, that's not the world. The world is your mind's busy. You have thoughts that fly through it. When you take time to be mindful, you're just minding the thoughts flying through your brain. And if you do that for long enough, for some people it might be weeks or months or years, for some people decades, at some point, the
Mhm.
mind, I can tell you, does quiet down, but it will not quiet down if you don't pay attention to your thoughts. And so mindfulness is just the act of paying attention. And that's at least how I think about it. I don't know about you, Joe.
Oh, I think about it the same way, honestly, and I agree with what you're saying. The more you practice it, the more you get better at it. I was actually gonna ask you, have you noticed, like, because I know you've been practicing it for a while, even though, like, it may not be as regular or as frequent as you wanted to, but I know you still take minutes out of your day just to, sit in one place and just go through your thoughts. Have you had instances where during such a time where you actually sit down to just, take stock, restock. And then when you come back to, because sometimes it feels like you go into another reality, it's like you're dreaming, but with like your eyes open sometimes,
Yeah.
and then when you
Mm-hmm.
come back to, it feels as if you've been in that reality for like hours, but then when you come back to, it's just a few minutes. I feel like the more I practice mindfulness, the more that happens to me. Does that happen to you too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like just so I don't seem to like be fancier than I am, it's been a little minute or two just because of the life I've chosen to live in Web3, but like lots of thoughts on that stuff. Yeah, so for me, Joe, like I know I'm there when I feel the floor fall out from under my feet, metaphorically, right? And you can kind of feel there's this drop that sort of happens when you enter that state, and then you're there and it's weird and there's no other way. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know that it's a universal experience. I also don't know how to describe it other than there's a suspension, and it's not like you're sort of not aware of what's up, but you're just like it's like you're just shifted sideways a bit, and like you're out of the slipstream even though you're still aware of it. It's pretty weird. And so but time there is whack, dude, totally. And um, like there are, when you get into deep meditation, people set timers or they set chime, whatever the sounds are. But because like you can get so deep, you don't know you just don't know how much time has passed. And so I am not that deep usually, so it's not an issue for me. But I have been there a few times and it's a trip. So like yeah, I don't know, it's also like deeply restful when you get to that point. um, and it's not even that the mind's clear. It's just that like you're not even with I don't know. What do you think, Joe? Like when you're in that one state, do you think that you're even like with your mind all the way anymore? I almost feel like it's like mindfulness becomes like almost mindlessness, but also like in an intentional way. I don't know how to describe it.
No, I agree with you. For me, I'm no longer like, I feel like my mind, I feel like my mind is sort of like a person with me at that point in time. Like
Mm,
it's no longer just my mind. I feel like it's
mm,
somebody like it's with me in that reality. So it's like giving me suggestions. Like I feel like it's like a friend or I don't know, a sister, brother beside me that's like, I'm conversing with at that point in time. I'm like, oh hey, I'm gonna try this. Mine is like, no,
mm, mm, mm,
no.
mm,
Yeah,
mm,
it feels like a person to me, honestly. It feels like a person to me. So I definitely do understand what you mean by that. And
mm,
time there is really back, like you did say, but I'm still always really curious about going into such a state because I feel like I learn new things
mm.
every time. Sometimes I feel like I know everything, and then I come back and it surprises me. I'm like, no, you don't know shit. And oh yeah, pardon my language, but yeah, you
Oh
know
no,
shit.
this is a pro shit broadcast. Like we're good. Um, so, uh, but yeah, right. And like yeah. So and here's the deep secret, folks. Right, is that like everybody's deeply fucking traumatized, and the busy mind is there to cover all that stuff. And as you sit there over time, like you release that trauma, which allows you to access that state where like you're not super busy. And so
Mhm.
that's at the root of all of this, I think. Joe, again, this isn't supposed to be the hero hour, but I get excited about this stuff, and I can't help it. Joe, I'm done. I'm being quiet now.
I love when you get excited. Please do. Your energy is amazing, and I love when you get excited, and your insights are really, really cool. So it's really nice to always have you here. But let me just summarize of like the key takeaways for today. We've explored the profound impact of mindfulness on our holistic health journeys, and we understand its origins, benefits, and practical applications. Now, for some resources, I don't know if you still have like your because you went really deep into this years ago, Hero, but just in case, some for those interested in diving deeper, I recommend his books, The Miracle of Mindfulness by Thich Nhat Hanh, and Wherever You Go, There You Are by John Kabat-Zinn. Now, I don't agree with everything they say, but there's some pretty cool shit in there that you would really
Hmm.
enjoy.
Facts. Facts. I mean,
Yeah.
to-
Yes. And I want you all to actually make self care your priority. Like, if you're not 100% good, you literally can't pour from an empty cup. So, you really need
mhm.
to take care of yourself. And these are just some mindfulness tools and apps to assist you. Headspace Calm and Insider Timer. They offer guided meditations, exercises, and resources tailored to various needs. Now, in our next session, we'll definitely delve into the power of positive affirmations. I really hope to
Yeah.
see you here.
I'll be here, Joe. Um, that's awesome.
Yay.
Let me hit a couple things real quick just to close that thing out.
Okay.
Like one, like when you empty the reservoir is when you hit burnout. Like just trust me on that, right? And so that's like literally what burnout is. We call it
Mm,
all different kinds of stuff, but that's like you got nothing left to give. And then there's a few
exactly.
people who can fight through that, but like you're beating your body up really hard. And if you want full disclosure, like I mean, a lot of people here know that have been through burnout and rode through it and like got through it. But I can tell you, like, I mean, during that process, like my body took
Mhm.
a freaking beating that I've been fixing that is now basically back to normal. But like, dude, it is hard on yourself. And you just you don't know, or at my point, I knew, but I didn't care. But like, just be mindful of that, like to what Joe said, because that is what burnout is. And I had something else, but I forgot. Oh, I remember what it was. So John Kabat-Zinn also has like really, I would say they're pretty fab videos, we have them on like freaking DVD or something, but there's a bunch that you can stream. And I've found that the way that he presents some of these topics visually is really compelling because does have that science background. And then Thich Nhat Hanh, of course, is like the OG for the West, right? So that's cool. um, and yeah, amazing. Thank you, Joe. That was dope. I have like literally a meeting. I'm going to stop recording now, if we don't mind. Do you have any last
I
words to say before we close out, Joe? Because I realize I'm late for a meeting. Speaking of mindfulness.
I just want to thank you for being here and everybody else that's going to play back. And everybody's feedback is valuable to me. So feel free to let me know if you have any thoughts or suggestions to help me improve these sessions. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. And thank you, Hero. You're amazing.
You're amazing too, Joe. Yay, that was fun. I will see you in 2 weeks.
All righty. Take care. Have a fun weekend.
Ciao, you too. Bye, Joe.
Bye.